and I have been studying DMN, 1,4-dimethylnaphthene, which is a sprout inhibitor, and I was looking at the effect that it has on skin set and also on potato storage pathogens. So we all know that that the skin set is very important in protecting the potato from infection and also from dehydration. And I wanted to give you just a little quick overview of the skin, or the periderm, what it's composed of. So we have 3 layers: the phellum, the phellogen, and the phelloderm. And this peach, which is the phellogen, that is where the cells get added in that area. And we know that in mature potato skin is very thin, and as it matures, it becomes thicker and stronger. And then we also have, this is the natural development, and then we also have the wound healing or superization, and this is pretty similar. It's just the replacement of the skin. So on to one of the experiments that we did. So the first objective, we wanted to look at the effect of DMN and CIPC, which is chloroprofen, on skin set. So what we did was we harvested tubers and we treated them in barrels, and we had 4 different treatments. The first one was the control. There was no treatment. The second one we did was the DMN. Then we did CIPC for the third treatment. And the last, we did a combo of the DMN and the CIPC. And after that, I took skin samples from the tubers, and I was looking at the skin weight from them, and the skin weight is what I'm using to measure the maturity in the skin. And what was shown, I forgot to say this, when I took the skin samples, they were at 30 and 90 days after I did the treatment. So that was a major thing to tell you. So I did for a couple seasons, and really what ended up happening was there was an overall increase in weight of the skin for all of the different varieties using DMN, and also the combination of DMN with the CIPC. And then just to visualize it, that you could see these are 30-day treatments. And if you look at the DMN, you could tell that the skin has matured more because it's got more compaction on it, and there is also darker staining. And this is pretty much what most of the growers have been telling us, that they've seen like a thicker skin set on the tubers. And this has proved that it does have a thicker skin set using the DMN. So then I went on to do, for my next objective, we wanted to look if DMN shows any antimicrobial activity against multiple tuber pathogens. So I did left is some Fusarium species, Vanaceum, Oxysporum, Sambucunum. And then on the right, we have silver scurf, we have Phytophthora eriseptica, and then we also have Phytophthora infestans that I looked at. And really, what I did was I exposed the pathogen to the DMN for 24 hours. And then I just, after that, I took it out of the jar that I had exposed in. And really, long-term effect, there was none using the DMN. Short-term effect, it did slow down the growth. But again, you would have to be using the DMN 24/7 for it to work. So that's a thumbs down on that. And then the next one we looked at, would DMN try to protect against any type of infection? And what I did for this is I took tuber discs and I exposed them again to DMN for 24 hours. Then I waited 48 hours and I inoculated them with the pathogen. And again, this did not have any effect on the disease. If you looked at the chart between using 0 and 20 ppms of the DMN, there wasn't much of a difference. And I don't know if you guys have any questions. Okay. I do have some samples just to show some of the difference. I covered them up because sun's getting a lot of moisture, just to show some of the different samples of the pathogens that we have. And I have some like I did 0 and the 20 ppms of the DMN. And again, you know, like I said earlier, some of the 20 looks smaller than the 0 using the DMN, but it's just because, again, the first 24 hours it did inhibit growth. But after that, you know, like I said, it's not exposed to it anymore, so it doesn't help.
So I have a couple of the Fusarium species that Celeste is talking about here. Her examples, this one especially is nice and visual, but a 0 and then the 20 parts per million concentration. So as she was saying, not a ton of difference.